Pakistan have seen a surge in fighting along Kashmir's line of control over the past months. The two countries have repeatedly accused each other of violating the 2003 ceasefire agreement. What's behind the latest surge, and where is the situation heading in the near future? For more, I am pleased to be joined in the studio by Mr. Saibal Dasgupta, China correspondent of the Times of India, and Mr. Malik Sumbal, a senior journalist and analyst from Pakistan. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio. First of all, let's take a look at the situation in the past year. The Hindu reported that since last year, the violation across the line dramatically increased, even by 20 times. What has really changed in the perspective of India and in the perspective of Pakistan? Mr. Guspata first.
You know, every time there is a political stability in Pakistan, even when there is a military ruler like General Musharraf, the cross-border firing comes down because the government is stable. Politicians don't want to make Kashmir a big issue. This government of Nawaz Sharif is not stable. He's already facing corruption charges. He's in great trouble. Over the last 1 year, he is in trouble. That's one. Secondly, the military has not been comfortable with him. There is a lot of pressure, pulls and pressures from the military. So military is trying to assert itself. The political situation in Pakistan is like this, that Kashmir is a big agenda. And not only politicians want it, even the military want it, because military is also important.
So you're saying Pakistan is using this issue to divert attention away from the internal problems?
That's a very small aspect of it. The big aspect
okay.
of it is that military is competing with its own civilian politicians to become a greater champion of Kashmir, which is why, because of this, there are always cross-firings in order to hike up the issue.
Yeah, Mr. Malik, what's your take?
So I would not agree, Mr. Gupta, because if I see that in India, the Narendra Modi regime that is perceived in Pakistan, because Narendra Modi is not getting much attention.
First of all, reply to what Mr. Dasgupta has just said, the issue that Pakistan is using Kashmir to divert attention from its internal problems.
No, I don't think so that Pakistan is using the Kashmir tool to divert towards the attention from its internal problem. But the major problem is on the borderline, which has been witnessed for a long time of such kind of the sheer violation from the Indian side. Because Pakistan accused India, because Pakistan is not in a position right now to afford any kind of the problem, because on the way to towards its economic development right now. So Pakistan accused many times, and even the international observers, because Pakistan called the UN international observer to visit the line of control and the border line to see what are the facts. And definitely there was the much violation from the Indian side.
Also, what Mr. Dasgupta was talking about, that the military is basically not in the control of the central government. Is that the case?
Of course not. Of course not. This is not something like this, that military is not. Military is definitely one of the powerful institution in Pakistan, but it is not that the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif facing the corruption charges or something like this. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is much interested in the better relation with India, because it's both good for the people of the Pakistan and for the people of India.
Then, if Mr. Musharraf Nawaz Sharif wants better relationship with India, why is the relationship going worse?
The problem is this, that the Indian Prime Minister, I told you that it's very easy to play the anti-Pakistan sentiment inside India, because when you are not coming with the development, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, has visited many countries, and now there is a severe pressure from the opposition side that you are visiting a lot of countries, but there is not any kind of the economic which is coming and pouring inside the country. So according to that criticism and this mounting pressure on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, so they are diverting the attention to the borderline. They are creating problem. They are the exchange firing, and then in the result of this exchange firing, there is casualties from both sides. There is economic losses from both sides. There is the stop of the train. There is a stop of the
Sure.
buses. So everything happened.
Yeah, India is also suffering. Mr. Dasgupta, what is your reaction to what he talked about, that it's Mr. Modi who is using the Kashmir issue to divert attention from the problems he is faced with?
Actually, I agree with two things that my friend said.
Yes.
One is cross-border firing or any firing is bad because innocent people get killed. So that is bad. Let us accept that fact. Let us accept the fact that cross-border trade should be there and this dispute should be put on end. That is acceptable. The second thing he says that Nawab Sharif actually wants a good friendship with India. Exactly, that is what it is. And many in Pakistan don't want it, which is why Nawab Sharif is under pressure. Nawab Sharif got elected on two big things during election. He said he will bring electricity, which is a big problem, and with China's help he is able to solve that problem, which is why he is also popular even with corruption charges. The second thing he said that he will put an end to quarrels with India because so much of money, resources, everything is being wasted on this quarrel. But he is not able to implement this part of the agenda simply because the military wants power, military wants to assert itself. What would the military do unless it has a quarrel with India? It has no other neighbor to quarrel with.
I'm going to ask you this question. What about the military in India? What is the relationship between the Indian military and the Indian government? I mean, doesn't the Indian government also want peace with Pakistan?
You see, when Modi became the Prime Minister, he invited Pakistan Prime Minister on the inauguration, on his own inauguration. He invited other leaders from other countries in South Asia like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. But Nawab Sharif was most important. He was given a big, and he came. Even many people in Pakistan were surprised about it. And there was very good start of relationship. But that has been affected, very badly affected, by not only cross-border firing, but something more.
Like
which
what?
is India's concern, not cross-border firing. India's concern is that bunch of terrorists go inside India, attack Indian installations. They have attacked installation in Pathankot, which is on the border, a military installation. Worst thing is they are attacking innocent pilgrims going to temples. On July 10 this month, terrorists came and they killed I think 17 people or something were killed.
Yeah, that was reported.
Yes, but there was no sympathy expressed from anywhere. And what is shocking is that the Pakistan military does not stop the terrorists from crossing this side because terrorists are an operational necessity. Even the British government has said this, that somehow there is a linkage between the ISI, which is the intelligence wing.
I doubt the British government is the right reference point here. But Mr. Malik, what is your take? What is your reaction to what Mr. Dasgupta just said about the support or the lack of action from the Pakistani side to so-called terrorist attacks?
Again, Pakistan has a lot of sacrifices for the terrorism, to stop the terrorism, to stop the terrorists. And Pakistan has the paramilitary forces, our army have such a huge operation. The previous army chief, General Rahil Sharif, he has a massive operation of the Zarb-e-Azab to eliminate the terrorists. But Pakistan has also handed over the strong evidence of the involvement of the India to support the Baloch Liberation Army, where in Balochistan province now, which is the hub of all the economic activities, which is the hub of the Gwadar port, and we have the secret agents which Pakistan have arrested, and they are now under trial, and India is going to the international court for to getting free from Pakistan. So these are all baseless charges which both the countries are accusing with each other. So I don't think so that is something like the extraordinary kind of the charges. I don't believe these, because this chapter has gone now. Pakistan has much done against terrorism, and the world is accepting this.
I think it is very difficult to find out who is right, who is wrong. Maybe you are right here, maybe he is right there. To a certain degree, is true on both sides. Let's look a little bit to the future. How this issue which has been going on for decades, is there any way that in the near future some light of hope might come out, Mr. Dasgupta?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you see, the Kashmir issue is not such a terribly passionate, emotional issue in India. Because India is a huge country
But
and
why
Kashmir
has
is a
nothing-
small part of it.
But why has nothing happened so far? I mean, there has been peace processes in the past, but every time it failed. Why
You
no
see, a
progress?
new
has been
development
made?
has taken place in Kashmir. And I'm not saying that it has worsened the situation. No, I'm not saying that. But the new development is CPEC. Because China started this China-Pakistan economic corridor. And this economic corridor is passing through a small portion of Kashmir itself, which is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which India lays a claim. So the Chinese progress project is also going through a disputed area. So now that is also an issue with Pakistan. Pakistan has to prove its ability to resist any form of Indian pressure. So, which is also a new dimension.
I thought there was a good point to, for instance, look at China. China says Taiwan is part of China. Taiwan says it's an independent country, but China never blocks anybody from investing in Taiwan and vice versa. Why can't economic activities be given the opportunity to go ahead while we keep the political difference?
Economic activity should always be allowed to go ahead. But the point is that a third country is constructing a physical route there and putting its own soldiers there.
It's an economic investment object. Malik, anyway, the Pakistani perspective towards India's opposition.
Of course, India is feared about this economic development into the Kashmir, because they know that if there is some sort of economic development in this region, then definitely people have the awareness, and that this suppression and the depression and the domination on the people of the Kashmir, which is occupied by the India, definitely it will create a big development for the people of the Kashmir. And when they will have the awareness, when they will have the opportunity to get involved into the economic activities, definitely their fate will be changed.
We have to leave it there. It's a very complicated subject, very interesting subject, but our time is really limited. Thank you very much,
Thanks a lot.
gentlemen.
Thanks a
Mr. Saibal Das Gupta, China correspondent of the Times of India, and Malik Ayub Sumbal, a senior journalist and analyst from Pakistan. And China's position on this ongoing conflict that has been rumbling on for decades is that it is the two parties, India and Pakistan, that have to come up with their own solution. China has offered to mediate, but this has been rejected by India, citing that is an issue between India and Pakistan. There have been bilateral efforts to resolve the issue peacefully, but no progress so far. However, dialogue is the only key. That's all for this edition of The Point. Follow me on Twitter or visit our Facebook page using the handle The Point with Alex. Download the application called CGTN Live or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thanks for watching. I'll be away for 2 weeks on holidays, but keep watching, keep tuning into The Point. I'll be back after that. See you next time.